3 rounds remain in F1 Manager Career Mode Season number 1, and today we're here for the Mexican Grand Prix, of course, which is the venue for this weekend's real-life Grand Prix as well. Now, we're going to try and see if we can have a decent weekend here. I feel like out of the remaining circuits, this one is going to suit our car the best, and it could be our best chance for some big points, or I'll say any kind of points to be fair. So, if you haven't seen the last episode, guys, at Kota, go watch it. Actually, an absolutely bonkers race. And there was one absolutely season-defining critical moment in that race, which could define our year. So you've been warned, spoilers ahead. Click away now or check out the last episode. But basically, long story short, we had a bit of an issue. So Sebastian Vettel took out Lance Stroll, and we were running in the points comfortably, and we had a great strategy in our favour. That means, as you can see, McLaren have overtaken us in the constructors, and not by a little bit, by a margin. I mean, they already overtook us in Japan the race before in the wet, but they gained 9 massive points in the last round, which was really unfortunate for us. So the gap is huge. For us to gain 13 points, that's a lot for us to pull around. And also on the drivers, Sebastian dropped to P12, Lance to P16, as you know, Zhou, Ricciardo, Norris all bagged big points and moved up. So it's not looking great, and we need to respond. Now, in the last episode, we took a new engine, and we've got basically fresh power for the last 3 races. So that could give us a boost around Mexico, which, you know, has, of course, the massive pit straight, and also the strength of our car is low speed cornering. So the first 3 corners, you know, start of sector 2 and also the last sector is going to suit our car. The only real weakness for us is going to be the S section, so it could be on paper a decent race for us. So let's get into it. Now, incentives, not really too important, but as for guarantees, we've gone for P15 or above on all 3. So qualifying position, race finishing position, and also qualifying position streak for 2 races. All of these with just 1 car. So they should all be achievable, but we'll see how it goes. Either way, let's get into the weekend, and then after the episode finishes, we can work on our final upgrades for hopefully maybe the last race of the season / next season's car.
Music is in the air this weekend, but it's not mariachi we'll be hearing. It's going to be the roar of the engines and the cheers of the crowd. Formula One is back in the very heart of Mexico City at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. This is an exhilarating circuit on the Formula One calendar. We'll be sure to see plenty of battles and overtaking this weekend, especially with the help of not 1, not 2, but 3 DRS zones. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
Right then, let's get into it. FP1 about to start, both cars with soft tyres on. They have used parts on their cars as well. Lance with slightly more used parts than Sebastian, as that's what he has left. And we have 18 laps fuel, probably a bit too much for this one, but still rather go over just in case. And we've got both cars on conserve to just take it easy and basically get the laps up. Oh my God.
Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel.
I was just responding to a message and Jesus, that is a huge crash. Seb's still going. What's the damage? Okay, minor rear wing damage.
And it's more than 1 car.
That's not bad. So virtual safety car deployed. We'll leave both drivers out. It's only minor damage, so it won't affect Seb too badly. We've lost Magnussen and Gasly from the session. Wow, that was a massive shunt. Luckily, I'll take rear wing damage, all things considered, to be fair.
Well done. Car was great. Copy that.
Well, it's a good start with Seb. We'll go ahead and bring him in. And we'll see what Lance has to say now on setup. I don't really like where I stand with Sebastian's setup. I don't actually know where to go with this, because everything that's good, which is what I need to improve on, is slap bang in the middle. So just for the sake of trying, I'm just going to move this to the left. And also that's going to move the straights to the right. And I'll see in what direction we go in. We can also revert back to the highest confidence setup if necessary. But I need this to kind of understand where we're going with the car. Not ideal then for Lance, only just over 50%, so we'll bring him in and we'll make some adjustments for Lance's car as well. As for Seb, I have replaced his rear wing, so we'll see what the second run does. You see, now this is better because it gives me a bit more of an indication. So everything that's bad is getting basically flipped to the other side. And then you kind of just basically do what you can with the good values because you don't have much room left to move. And that basically solves it for you. So I'm pretty confident this could be a pretty decent setup already, to be fair, for Lance. Both drivers are going on the hard tyre and they're going for all the way until the end of FP1 now.
Now look at this. It was the Alpha Tauri driver involved.
Now we've got a red flag.
Thank goodness nobody else was involved. That was a big crash.
So there we go. 20 minutes until FP1 restarts. Red flag from that Tsunoda crash. So, as you guys know, the timer doesn't stop in FP1, so that could be the end of our session, to be fair. Wow, surprised to be fair. The first crash wasn't a red flag, and that one was. But anyway, it is what it is. Well, we're going to send both of our cars out. The red flag period has gone by. 12 minutes to go. We're not going to get any setup feedback, but we might as well just turn some laps and just see how the car feels. So, a dramatic FP1 draws to a close, and look at the amount of penalties. Bottas, Magnussen, Ocon, Hamilton, Schumacher, Alonso, Tsunoda, Gasly. Okay, this is serious. This could be big for us in terms of points. The bad news, neither McLaren has a grid penalty, which is a bit of a concern, but there's points in it for us, and you never know, that could be a big win for us, but this is looking very promising. I just hope our pace is legit here this weekend. Now we're in FP2, it's going to take very little time to get the feedback from the setup in, so we're basically sending them out on everything the same, just a soft set of tyres, and then once they come in, we'll send them out on a nice long run for the entirety of FP2 on the medium tyre.
The car's just all over the place.
Are you firm?
That's a bit surprising actually. Okay, so everything that I've done on the setup basically is opposite. I've got to flip everything back, so now we know.
Car was good.
Okay, so we know where we stand then. So I made those adjustments on purpose to kind of get an understanding, and that hasn't actually worked out for us. So we'll bring both cars in and put them back out mediums with some adjustments. Okay, now this is a bit more like it. I'm a bit more confident with Lance with the setup. I made the adjustments. I then reverted back to the highest one, and I've basically adjusted it. So this is the best feeling for Lance so far. He had bad over here, so I've moved over here now, and we're going to kind of start to really dial this in. This second run's going to help. We're going to go for 30 laps. We're running the entirety of FP2 now, and it's going to really help shrink those windows to really help dial in the information. So for FP3, we should be good to go. I'm not too sure, though, where to go with Sebastian. I think I'm going to need this long run to pull the margins in. There's not a lot of flexibility on the setup. I can't really do much right now, so I just want to try something else and try and get a bit more of a accurate reading as to where we're going. But FP3 is going to be really important for us.
Car was great. Copy that.
Okay, I'm happy with this. We could actually bring Seb back in, to be fair. We've probably got time, but I'm just going to leave him out there. We'll make the adjustments to FP3, because even though we're missing out on another setup change window, the progress is still happening, and I also want to try and rack up track acclimatization, which we're a bit low on, to be fair, so far.
It's not bad. I think it's okay.
Not
Copy that.
entirely ideal, but it's the highest confidence one we've had so far, so we can build on this in FP3 again. The rest of this session's running is going to be really important to dial in the setup and know the windows and the margins we have. And then we have it FP2 in the books, and we done no performance running, just laps, and we managed to actually just run out through right at the very end. We made it back to the pit lane though, but we've got plenty of data, so I'm looking forward to FP3 to make the adjustments.
Welcome back to what is proving to be an exciting weekend of Formula One racing, with practice coming to a close today and qualifying set to follow. Practice 3 affords the teams one final opportunity to tweak their setups as the drivers get to grips with the tracks every turn. Once they reach qualifying, there simply won't be time to think twice. Drivers will need to outdo one another if they're to climb their way up the grid and secure themselves a solid starting position for tomorrow's race. Here we go, folks. It's time to get started.
Something on this setup I can't get to line up. I can't get the braking stability inside this bracket. I can't figure it out. I don't know what it is. I'm going to really struggle here. I'm just going to make one tweak. I'm going to go down one click on the front wing, because that's what needs to change, and we'll just see where we're going. We might need more laps to kind of shrink the margins, because I can't figure this out. I think if we get 95, I'd be happy with this, to be honest. I'm really not confident of getting 100%. Anyway, FP3, both drivers will go on conservative run plans. We'll go 16 laps, and they're both going to go on soft tyres. As for Lance, I'm pretty happy with this. 2 options. I think the toe could either go this way or this way. Either or. We'll find out, but I'm pretty confident with this. This could go pretty well for us, I think.
I'm happy with the car.
Copy.
There we go. I had a feeling that was it. That's what I mean. Sometimes you need one of the 5 to be bad so that it tells you where you need to go, and then everything else kind of falls into place. But I can't figure it out with Sebastian. I don't know where it is. I don't even know what this video is going to be like.
Well done. Car was great. Copy.
No change. 87 still. Yeah, I've tried again. I can't figure it out. So we're going to try this and hope for the best. That's all we can do, really. Virtual safety car deployed. Zhou does the exact same thing as Sonoda,
And a big off.
but doesn't kind of bounce back onto the track, so there's no red flag, but VSC for now. Okay, we're going to bring Stroll in. He has maximum score, so he can pit in now. We'll see what Seb has to say on setup confidence.
Car was great. Copy.
I've got nothing. Nothing at all. That's disappointing. Now FP3 is finished. No real relevant lap times from us. We've been in conservative modes all weekend. Lots of penalties, and that's going to be very interesting for the race. But for us, we've maxed out everything except for Seb's setup. I just can't figure it out. I don't know why it's not working, but I know there's like a video out there that you can do to kind of basically get a maximum setup every single time. But I enjoyed the challenge of trying to figure it out myself, you know, without not cheating, but, you know, having the homework done for you. It's crazy how life works. Because of that last FP3 run, now I have the intel that I need, and now it makes sense. This would be an optimal setup right here, if not 95% or above, definitely. The question is, do I want to gamble with this for qualifying? I'm going to gamble because we need to beat McLaren. We've got to give it everything we've got. So I'm going to take a risk here, and I'm going to commit to this. Okay, ready to go. 3 flying laps in Q1, as always. Seb with a bit of a random setup. We're going to test it and see what happens. Lance 100%, and both cars with their brand new engines, so full power for qualifying. Right then, let's see what we do pace-wise. The indication will be the pace between Lance and Seb, what they do lap time-wise. That's going to be a big giveaway. So let's see. First lap on the board from Sebastian, and it's 3 tenths quicker than Stroll, so it's not a bad start. 7 tenths off Zhou, though. We're going to get a nice clean track for the second run. Zhou pit, so that's going to free up the track for us. A couple of personal bests from both drivers. Let's see what the improvement is. Seb finds half a tenth. Lance finds about a tenth. So the gap between them about 2 tenths of a second right now. I was hoping for a bit more than that, but let's see what the final lap is. No traffic yet again for the final lap, but it's not a personal best first or second, so I don't think there's going to be an improvement here. No, there isn't. Neither driver improves. Right then, back to the pits as we get ready for a final run. On track then for our final attempt. The pace looks poor. We're in the knockout zone with both cars, which is rare. We're going to go with Lance for his final lap, and we'll see if he can find anything. I think Seb might get out. He's close to Norris and Schumacher, but Stroll, I'll be shocked if he finds 2 tenths or 2.5 tenths on this final run. But let's see. It happened last race, to be fair. It did happen in the last race, so you never know. Let's try and be optimistic. Sector 1, Sebastian Vettel is a PB. Lance Stroll, PB as well, as we get clear track. Checkered flag drops. Let's see then what we can do. Magnussen has finished, so has Ricciardo, has improved. Ocon also finished, Gasly as well. Lap time starting to come in. Sector 2 is not a personal best from Sebastian. Lance is improving. It's not really encouraging when you see, you know, 2.5 tenths to get through, so I think this could be ball game. Sebastian does improve, he finds a 10th. Stroll, does he improve? Yes, he does. He finds a 10th, but still P18. Seb P16. Q1 done. A bit disappointing, not going to lie. We've had a bit of those lately. Double Q1 knockouts. Hopefully the race pace is better. We'll see where we start, though, once all these penalties get applied. That's going to be really important, of course. So we could be starting as high as P12 or something like P11, P13, around that kind of area. So no reason to feel too down. We just need to try and get to the points and then see what happens. For the race, both drivers are going to go for medium hard. Very simple one stop. We're starting a bit higher up, so we'll find out where we are. We're 15th and 16th. Not as high as I hoped for. So again, otherwise I'll maybe go for a soft, but we're a bit further than I'd like. So we've still got work to do. Either way, same strat. We're going to try and go long into the race and just hope the race pace is better. Ideally, a bit of a safety car, VSC, any kind of shenanigans would help us out. But yeah, we're going to go standard modes as well for the race start and just see where it takes us basically. But hopefully everything goes well. And yeah, fingers crossed it all goes okay. Sebastian, you can see it's on 90% set up. So we made those changes and it seems to have worked for the most part. So yeah, I don't mind.
It's bright and sunny as the drivers line up on the grid. And there's Sebastian Vettel. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. The race start is mere seconds away. What will happen next? We're about to find out at the Mexican Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
Lights out then in Mexico. Pretty good start from both of our drivers. Sebastian's going to get the jump on Ocon. Good to see. You can see the engine power kicking in.
I can't. Yeah, it's insane how bad we are.
Lance is boxed in. He's losing out on the other lane.
Good job.
Into turn one then.
That's it.
Let's use a bit of push.
This is a joke.
Important phase here just to make sure we don't lose any more places with Lance especially. Let's see. Sebastian though, up to P14. Good start from him. He's got a bit of battling ahead with Bottas and Alonso. Stroll still not able to get back past, so not an ideal start. Seb though, looking to maybe pick up pieces here from Bottas and Alonso if they do lose some time. And Sebastian there briefly looking for the 3 wide. And I'll tell you what. Oh my god, that's so close, but he's done it. He has done it. Sebastian Vettel, you are a madman. Wow, what a move that was.
Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Let's run that back.
Let's take a closer look. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Look at that. 3 wide. Seb has also cleared Magnussen. Although Magnussen is fighting back. Meanwhile, Stroll still struggling to get to work, but
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Seb has got the move done definitively. We're going to drop them now to standard modes. Seb's still trying to get by, but I want to now play the long game. Important that we think of the long game here.
DRS enabled.
You can see tyre compounds. Everybody's on mediums pretty much, so bear that in mind. Important that we make the tyres last. As Seb gets stuck in here to get into the points, into the top 10. Can you make it work? After turn 1, Gasly defends. And it's not going to happen just yet. But still, I'm happy to follow Pierre. That's a good car to follow. And that automatically puts us in the P10 battle. Stroll doing a good job of keeping up with Schumacher, who's on the soft tyre. Stroll just hanging on, or now it's time to drop back from DRS range. Sebastian, though, is doing fine. I think Ricciardo's made a mistake, because he's dropped down the order. And Gasly moved up. We'll hopefully get a replay if there was a mistake. I'm not sure, maybe Ricciardo had no pace.
He gained a place.
Sonoda passes Stroll, but that's going to help reform the train in a way, so I don't entirely mind. But Seb is in that P9 battle right now with Ricciardo and Gasly, so this is fine for us. This is exactly where we want to be in this race. Especially battling McLaren. And there we go. Seb's actually passed Ricciardo.
Good job.
And Ricciardo now getting passed by everybody. Let's watch a
Here's
replay.
the replay. Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel.
I think Ricciardo's running an old engine because that was an easy pass. Ricciardo would have had DRS there, but no pace. We just need Lando to start to drop down the order. This is bad news for us. But anyway, for now, we're in the points, and that's an excellent start from P15 for Sebastian. Stroll still chilling, just out of DRS range. He has got back ahead of Sonoda. Might set Stroll to push in a moment to try and just join up to the pack here. And there's an incident in front. Something's happened. Oh, and it's Sebastian. I don't believe it. He's out as well. Magnussen also out.
Contact. It's chaos on the track. Let's take a look at the replay. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here.
That's Magnussen taking out Sebastian. Oh my god.
Oh no! And there's the crash. Mark my words, there'll be questions asked about that later.
I just don't think we're destined to get points or get P7 in the Constructors. Sebastian's done, race over. So we've lost a car, Magnussen out as well.
Sebastian, we need to retire the car.
Copy.
Well, it's a safety car anyway, so we'll go ahead and recharge. The good thing now, we'll turn our focus entirely to Lance, so we'll see if we can still make something happen here with Stroll. Strategy will be key. Timing for the pit stop will be key as well. But that is terrible. Now, is it worth going left field and trying something different on strategy? Everybody's on the same strat, more or less. A set of hard tyres does 73 laps. We have to do 62 laps, racing laps. I'm going to take a chance here. Why not? Let's go for it. We'll try and save some tyres in traffic. We're going to pit. Let's go for it. Hopefully Stroll will come in. That safety car staying out for one lap longer, so let's take a gamble. I just hope Stroll can catch back up to the safety car train. That's all I wish for, and hope it doesn't backfire. 2.7 and back underway then. And yeah, we should make it back to the train. So let's see how this works out. Safety car in this lap.
Push more.
Okay, okay.
We're just going standard modes for now. Ideally, I want to try and tuck into the DRS train. That would be perfect, but beggars can't be choosers. But it's important that we stick with the race pace and try not to drop off if possible. Look at this though, it's absolute chaos down to turn 1, so this is fine. I might actually use this as a chance to try and save a bit of tyres early on, as we might need that later on. I think we're going to struggle with tyre wear. But the idea now is to not stop anymore and go to the end. Okay, the Williams car's already dropping back.
Push more.
Okay.
So we're going to try and see if we can get past here with Lance. So we're going to use engine modes, but keep the tyre push standard. I don't want to take too much out of the rubber. So we'll get DRS here. Can we pass? Damn right we can. That's the move done, hopefully. There we go, that's the move done, shortly. There we go,
Looks
right.
like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
On to Albon now. Yellow flag. Verstappen
They've
is in the
rocked up
wall.
and gone straight on. Let's take a closer look. We're just watching the Red Bull.
He just keeps it out of the barrier. Just. But that's going to send Verstappen packing. So Verstappen's going to lose a chunk of time. Does he have damage? No, he doesn't. So he gets back on his way. Right then. So we're going to go push again. We're here with Stroll. I don't really want Latifi to pass, but this isn't ideal. Come on, Lance. We're going to need you to be a leader here and try and work for the team. Let's try and get onto Albon if we can. Right, let's get this done then. Bit of engine mode yet again. Let's try and pass him straight away. And then, to be fair, Verstappen would be a pretty nice car to follow if we could pull that off. But there we go. Stroll breezes past and gets it done. Max is going to pass Stroll. I'll put Stroll on fuel push and see if we can try to keep up with Verstappen, but I don't think it's going to be likely.
Red Bull moved up.
No, Verstappen has already dropped us as quickly as that. Right, Norris in the pit lane then. Let's see, things are going to start to open up. I will use a bit of fuel in this initial phase. I want to try and see if I can lighten the car up a little bit in terms of weight, so we'll let Stroll push a bit. But Norris is now behind us. Again, if there is a safety car or VSC, the beauty of this strategy means that we'll be with the chance later on of fighting back. Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Ah, come on.
Take a look at the replay. So this was the Aston Martin.
Give me a break.
What a spin out.
Terrible. Just, I need a break. Give me a lucky break, honestly. Anyway, back to it. We've lost to Norris, but still. Latifi also has got back past. It's just terrible. Well, now we need a safety car to get us back in the race. That one mistake has put an end to that entire strategy. Okay, now a lot of cars are in. This is looking like a one-stop though. Everyone onto the hard tyre, presumably. As you can see, they're all popping out on the hards, and we're behind everyone. So that's how far behind we are. Officially, we need a safety car. Again, after that mistake. Latifi in the pit lane. Schumacher also getting past Stroll, which...
the replay. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher.
It took longer than it should have, to be fair. He was been behind for a few laps, but there we go, around the outside. Easy move. We're in no man's land right now. Nothing I can really do about it. Just waiting for that safety car. We're in standard modes now, just trying to manage what we have. I think tyre wear is going to be fine to the end, but I'm not really concerned now because that's not our race anymore. So we'll go for a fast lap at the end if we need to. By the way, Zhou Guanyu running in P4 this race and battling for a podium. That is bonkers. I think it's legit. Looking at tyre wear, I think he put at the same time, and he's in the mix. Pace-wise, adds up. Yellow flag though. We just had a spin as Hamilton.
Let's see what happened there. Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one.
On the power, we've just got that live.
Yes.
So Hamilton with a spin, but I don't think we're going to get a safety car from that, which is a shame. Or any kind of incident. But Zhou up to third. I swear, if this is a podium, this is going to be mental. Absolutely insane. Well, Zhou has now dropped back from Perez, and he's having to contend with Russell and Verstappen, who has recovered to P6 after that incident early on. So Verstappen is on an absolute mission. But Zhou putting in an absolute shift here today. Also, Aston McLaren's, Norris P9, Ricciardo down to P12 right now. Hopefully McLaren score no points. That's the best we can hope for really this race, because we've got no chance with Stroll. He's now dropped to 5 seconds away from Schumacher. We're comfortably ahead of the Williams. They're not really a threat. But we're just nowhere near the cars ahead.
Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin. And there's the lockup. It almost got away from them entirely.
What is happening? What is happening?
I'm really disappointed with that.
I don't understand what's going on. The last 2 races, please, drivers, please keep it together. My God, it's just falling apart. We're crumbling like a biscuit. And there we go, officially a lap down. Oh, this is so annoying, so demotivating. I can't wait for next season's car. I hope it's an improvement. Ooh, okay. Crash. Sonoda involved. Gasly as well. Has there been an Alpha Tauri implosion? Either way.
It's a collision.
No safety car though.
We can take a look now. Now look at this. It's Pierre Gasly.
Not for the first time this season. They've collided. But of course last race it was us. This time it's them. The Alpha Tauris blow up. Still, doesn't really change or affect our race by much. Rather than Stroll in the pit lane. Soft tyres on. We're going to go for a fastest lap. We'll also go for a quick little bit of recharge. So let's go ahead and do that. We're never going to break the top 15, which is annoying because of the incentives. But anyway, let's get a recharge.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yep.
Up front though.
Energy's good.
Yeah, okay.
For the first time this race, Charles Leclerc hits the front, overtakes his teammate. So Ferrari battling for the win. Verstappen is on a rampage. He's now just 4 seconds off the race lead after being last. So he's pushing like a madman right now. The Red Bull looks seriously quick. Interestingly, the Alpha Tauris haven't pit. They've stayed out there with half a wing. So what was their last lap? 34s. To be fair, we could actually maybe even catch one of them maybe. I don't know. We're a bit far back, but you never know. Yeah, we can definitely... We're only 30 seconds away from Gasly. We could catch him maybe. Possible. Anyway, Stroll is getting ready now for his push lap, so this is going to help us catch up as well. Let's go full commitment here. Let's see what we can do pace wise. Purple in sector 2 and across the line. New fastest lap. So if we can leave him in these push modes right now. Might as well go flat out. Leclerc onto the last lap of the race. Let's watch this then. As Carlos Sainz pulls alongside his teammate. This is a battle for the win between the 2 Ferrari boys. Into the first chicane. Side by side. Bonotto's got to be pulling his hair out right now. As these 2 go at it. Still side by side. On the run down to turn number 4. Sainz gets in front. Leclerc, no DRS, so he can't get back in front. And Sainz moves into the race here in the last lap of the race. One more DRS zone to go after the S section. Does Leclerc have an answer? That's the question. Right, to find out. Through the S section we go. Here comes Leclerc. And he doesn't get it done. So Carlos, by the looks of it, is going to secure the W here today in Mexico City. Through the final corner, and there we go. Sainz picks up the win. Leclerc second, Verstappen P3 on the recovery. Zhou in the end, P8, dropped off towards the end. McLaren out the points. Thank God for that. That is a relief. I don't think Lance will catch. The delta's dropping, the gap's coming down, but we're going to run out of lap, I think, unfortunately. And one more lap we could have got. I think actually both of them maybe, but we're going to hit Gasly just as we cross the line, which is a real shame. So there we go, P16, and arguably the worst race of the season here today.
Okay, Lance, that's checkered flag.
A race to forget, and Sainz is the victor. Both McLarens out of the points. That's all that matters today. That's the only positive I can take. Fastest lap from Lance Stroll, and Seb taken out by Magnussen. So, yeah, real shame. And I had expectations really high for this one, and it turns out our pace was actually pretty piss poor anyway, which is really disappointing. So, yeah, Drivers' Championship. Zhou, with that great points finish, moves ahead of Sebastian. So, fair play. We're dropping like a stone in these closing stages. 2 races remain. Do we have a chance of getting P7? I don't really think so, but miracles can happen. Ideally, rain in Brazil would be nice, but I don't think there's weather forecast for that race. After that, though, we're going to get very little points. It is what it is. No running, so no miracles are going to happen. As for cash payouts, we gain 5 mil. We lose a little bit on a few losses on guarantees, but still, we'll take that. Now, we have a red flag and a red number 1, missing car parts. Front wing missing. Is that freight? That's interesting. Are we missing parts because of the freight not arriving? Let me see. Inbox. Okay, so post-race debrief. Braking on Stroll could be improved. Top speed of car 1 could be improved. That's new. That's the new one for us. We have to work on top speed. Boardroom not happy, as you'd expect. I'm not happy myself. The levels haven't been there. ATR period is starting, so we're going to get onto this right away, and we're going to work on our last upgrade for next season and our last upgrade for this season. Basically, finalising the car. So we've run out of front wings. We'll go ahead and manufacture 3 of them. We'll do 4. That should get us into the season. Why not? That'll be fine. So we'll get 4 front wings on the way. Rear wing, we'll also make 4. We'll make 3 of them. We don't really break rear wings as often. It's usually front wings that we lose, so we'll bring 3 of those. Now, what we're going to do first of all is create our final upgrade for this season, which will carry into next season's car, and that's for the side pods. They're the last thing I have left to do, so we're going to split the CFD and the wind tunnel, so 50-50, and we're going to hope that this brings the big improvement to the car. Let's go ahead and improve that. You can see we're going to get a lot of drag reduction, a lot of engine cooling, better airflow as well. I'm going all out with the race performance. I want to try and feel some noticeable improvements to the car. So this is what the kind of preset has given us. I don't mind losing cooling. We're still technically gaining a little bit, so it's an improvement all round. So we're going to do this. You can see it's a massive reduction on drag. It's 12%. It's huge. And also improvement in dirty air. So I'm happy with this. Let's get this on the go. Now it looks like we can't do it. Won't reach completion date. Surprising. I thought it doesn't matter anyway, we can still work on it for next season, but apparently not, so never mind. I guess we'll invest into next season's research then. Now so far, as you can see, the chassis isn't changing. We've done research on the front wing. We haven't done research on the rear wing. That is what's remaining. Side pods are unchanged. We've also done research on underfloor and suspension. So let's go ahead and do some rear wing research. So we'll split the allocation 50-50. And we might still do some more research for some other parts maybe. So we'll go for this for now. Now we're going to go for balanced. I don't really want to favour anything in particular. So yeah, we've customized it. I've got free range, so I've gone ahead and maxed everything out. It should help us out quite a bit. So hopefully this does the job. You can see if we get 5 engineers on it, we can just make it. If we've got 4, we're not going to make it in time. So we can just make it with the 5. So this is important. So we'll go ahead and confirm it. As you can see, that's going to help us out. I'm going to invest the rest of the CFD and wind tunnel in a new front wing project for next season. I believe I only invested 25% into this when I had the chance, so I'm going to invest a bit more this time. So we're going to do 50%. As you can see, it's going to improve things a little bit and give us a bit more detail, so I may as well go for it. And that way we'll have a decent front and rear wing, so we'll go ahead and max everything out, and that will give us better improvement of pace and performance. We'll confirm it, lock it in with 5 engineers, and there we go. Officially, our Season 2 car is complete. You can see, worth noting, we've lost performance. Other cars have outdeveloped us. It seems like teams aren't focused on, next season, because we're last in every single metric except for engine cooling. So this is a big indicator of our pace right now, and I think the next 2 races we're set to suffer big time. But we'll have the reward hopefully next season. You can see we've got all the updates there. Just quickly clear the filters in case we have another email, just to be sure. So the financial report. I know we're doing fine for cash. We're 17 million to the good, so we're fine. Board review in 3 weeks, of course, after the last race. This could be a bit rough, I think. This could be a bit bumpy, I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit worried about this. So we're ready for Brazil. You can see missing. Go to the car build, and that's because we still have missing parts, but we do now have spares. So there we go. We can take care of that and fit spare parts that we need. And that should do the trick. But there we go. The next race, guys, Interlagos. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be painful. I'm not looking forward to it, but it is what it is, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, though, leave a like and subscribe, as always, for daily F1 content on my channel. A big shout out to the members for supporting the content on my channel, as always. You guys are legend. Check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.